Hey everyone, so today's video is the setting up of our 75-gallon tank, and I know so many of you have been asking where is the video, why haven't we put the video up, and basically we had so much video footage from doing this. It's been a huge project for us, and so we have documented it every step of the way. We've documented all the issues that we've had with the tank, and so I've just been taking my time in doing the editing and setting out how we're going to do the videos. So I think we're going to do them over 3 separate videos and look at everything that we've done along the way, and obviously also look at the problems that we've had, because let's face it, fish keeping isn't always pretty and sometimes you do have issues, and I think that it's good to share them and share what you've learned from them and how you maybe got round the problems that you had. So we're going to be covering all that over the next few weeks in these videos. So to make room for this tank, we had to move the goldfish tank, and that in and of itself was a big job. So we started obviously by emptying all the water out, taking everything out. We moved the fish to a 5-gallon bucket and we put a air stone in there. We did it all as quick as we could so that they weren't in there for too long, but they didn't seem too stressed out. In fact, they didn't seem that bothered at all. We really do have very laid back goldfish. Nothing seems to upset them. We did keep back about 10 to 12 gallons of their water so that we weren't doing a 100% water change with them, and there was still a little water left in their tank, so we reckon there was probably 12 to 14 gallons in total, and our fish are used to a 70 to 80% water change anyway, so there were no issues with removing so much of the water to move the tank. Whenever you buy a new tank, you should always do the water test, and basically what that is you set your tank up outside, you fill it all the way to the top, and then you leave it for several hours. You want to do this to make sure that there's no leaks in it, because you don't want to set it up in your house and then discover that there's a problem with the tank and you end up with water all over your floor. The tank is a Marineland 75-gallon, and it did come with tank, stand, glass lid and LED lighting, and we got an amazing deal on it from Petsmart just right after Christmas. Once we put the stand in, we very quickly realised that there was a height difference between the 55-gallon stand and this one, and so we needed to come up with something very quickly that we could use to raise the cabinet up, because we did want the tanks to be all the one height. So I am very fortunate. My husband's very handy, and so he made these extra feet to go under the cabinet, and he covered them in electrical tape so that they would be the same colour as the cabinet. It had 6 main areas of support, so he made 6 of them to go under those areas, and as you can see there, you would never even know that they weren't part of the cabinet, so he did a great job with those, and the overall finish of it was fantastic, and it did raise it up to where we needed it to be. Once we'd done that, we then went ahead and started levelling the cabinet. Usually when you set a cabinet down somewhere, it's very rare that it will be level first time, especially if it's on something like carpet, which this one is. So we used shims to level it, and we put them on the top of the cabinet, as you can see him doing here, until the cabinet was completely level, and then he added them to the feet of the cabinet underneath, and that way we got a perfectly level cabinet for the tank to sit on. The cabinet doesn't have shelves, and at some point we'll maybe make some, but we had an old cabinet that we were able to fit inside it, so for now this will act as our shelf, and on the other side we are going to just leave it empty, and that's where I'll have the space for my buckets and sort of the bigger items. We did one more check of the stand just to make sure everything was secure. It was 100% level, and then we added the tank to it. So once everything was in place, it was time to start filling the tanks, and this took a really long time to do because we were filling a 55-gallon and a 75-gallon, and I think it probably took about 40 minutes to fill both of the tanks. Thankfully, we use a pump, and so we were just able to leave the pump in the bucket in the sink and the tap switched on, and that just kept the water running into the tank while we were able able to do other jobs. I decided while I was waiting for the water to fill up that I would change out the polyfill in the filter that we were going to be using. We are using the Aquaclear 70 on the 75 gallon. We probably in the long term are going to get a canister filter, but right now the Aquaclear 70 is fully cycled, and so this was just a really good option for us. We have left the media in the water while we've done this whole process, so it hasn't been able to dry out, because if you actually leave your media out of water for a while, then the bacteria will start to die off. The Aquaclear 70 is good for tanks 40 to 70 gallons, so whilst this one is a little under what we need for this tank, the tank will be understocked for a while. We do have other fish to add to it that we've had in quarantine for about the last couple of weeks, so we will be adding more than just the betta fish to this tank, but we do feel that the Aquaclear for now will be enough just because it is understocked, and we will stay on top of the water changes, and they are an excellent filter. I will leave a link to it in the description box below. They do lots of different sizes depending on your tank. In the next video, we're going to be showing you the substrate that we used, and in this tank build, we actually use 3 different substrates, which we haven't done before, and we're going to show you the design that we've come up with, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed to our channel and you want to see more videos like this, then please do so, and if you are subscribed and want to know when a new video comes out, then just hit that little notification bell. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.